why would both my ebook and my course on relationships in pre-sales start with just observing, recognizing, and understanding somebody's behavior? Don't I need to tell you what to do about that? Well, no, not really. At some point, that's what we are going to talk about. But as I was thinking that thought, I decided I should talk to you about why just understanding is really helpful and is something that you can take away right away. And the reason is that by observing clearly, by understanding what's happening in front of you, you have yourself in a position to respond versus react. And reacting is an emotional thing. Responding is an intellectual thing. The response might not be, oh great, I'm okay with that. You might respond with a no, but a response is heard better. It comes across better. Let me give you an example from pre-sales. What I have experienced, what I hear all the time when I'm doing coaching is sales doesn't respect me. Maybe not the whole group, but somebody you're working with, an AE. I wish I had more respect from them. How can I get more respect? Well, I had a situation like that. I was working as an SE on a deal, or actually on several deals, and I worked with an AE who had a method of doing things that drove me crazy. We would plan a demo, and then the night before, or even the morning of, he would then send me PowerPoint slides asking me to incorporate them into my PowerPoint slide or into the whole presentation for the day. Now, there was just no time to get it done often, and also it sometimes was including things that I wouldn't have known were going to be in there. They weren't on the strategy. So I was thinking, this guy has absolutely no respect for me in my role. Who does he think he is, telling me to do things at the last minute? And who does he think he is making changes like that? Well, that who does he think he is, or he doesn't respect me, doesn't get us anywhere. I'm going to react in that circumstance. At the very least, I'm not going to be gracious when I do it, or I'm going to have some very unpleasant expression on my face. I ended up knowing how to respond to it because my mind kicked in and I thought, and in this case I was using social styles. I know what's going on here. He is a little disorganized. That's not social styles. But on the social style side, he has a huge affinity for fact, not so much for people. And that's one of the dimensions in social styles. And when I stopped and thought about it, what that meant was he wasn't disrespecting me as a person. He was not really thinking about me as a person. What he was really focused on was the facts related to the demo or the presentation. All he was thinking about were the things. And the things were, I need to get this slide done, and I'd like to make this arrangement a little bit different. And I never thought of it, but I would like this person to know this particular fact. So when I realized he's not really disrespecting me, that behavior might come across that way, but he's just focused on the facts only. And he was an extreme example of fact versus people. So then I sat back and thought, okay, I'm not reacting to this anymore. I need to respond. Now, the response might have been to talk to him and ask him not to do that. I believe I did, and it got me nowhere. So instead, my response was, I think I will manage this. Now, the other thing I knew about him was, on the other axis, the x-axis, he was on the left or the indirect methodical side of things. So what I did was, I scheduled strategy calls. I scheduled dry runs. I don't even like dry runs, but I scheduled them with him. And he liked that. He was a little disorganized, but he liked the methodical approach. So all I had to do was be the one who did it. I scheduled them. I said, let's talk about this, this, and this. And during that process, I would occasionally mention that we need to have this done well in advance. We can't be doing this the day before or the morning of. And that was fine with him. And truly, I never had the problem again, because by getting clarity on the situation, by understanding his behavior, first observing it, seeing it clearly, that's what I got, was clarity. And that helped me respond rather than react. And it was nicer for me. It was better for the demos too.